Hello everyone, and welcome back for some more Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's been a while. I was waiting on the latest patch to drop, and arrive it has. Actually, there was a bit of miscommunication, and I tried to record an episode a few days ago because I thought the patch should come, but it wasn't ready, and so it was wasted progress, and I was like, damn. Here we go again. So apparently now the game has the ability to save when I exit out to the main menu. I'm not going to do that repeated times during an episode, it just means that at the end of an episode, I can do it, right? Which is useful if I need to go to bed or answer the door because of a postman or something like that. You know, it's just sensible stuff, right? Okay, here we go. So apparently, let's just get back into Talmberg and hopefully escape from Talmberg, because that is where we have spent much time suffering. So apparently Henry is a wizard who can bend the fabric of space and time to go back and have a second chance, or perhaps it's a miracle from heaven, which, as a medieval Catholic, Henry would probably believe in. I mean, he's not a Protestant. Protestants don't exist yet. I went back and checked that. I mean, look, I mentioned this in earlier episodes, right? They're all gonna walk away. Hey, textures aren't broken now either. But most importantly, put this torch away. It's not that dark now. Oh, these have got X's on them. That's really bad. Okay, well, I mean, I know they need fixing, but not a lot I can do about it for now because of a distinct lack of money. So, to escape from Talmberg, first, oh, you know what I will do, actually?
What the hell?
I'm gonna get... Right. Yes, this way. So Henry always runs everywhere. For some reason he's extremely hyperactive and doesn't understand the concept of walking. Yeah, running is not anybody's default mode of movement. You run when you're in a hurry, in a rush to get somewhere. You don't run just because you're going for a long walk. Here we have some kind of training ground for combat. Henry's not going to... There's a distinct lack of quintons and other things in there. So we're not going to go in there just yet, and also no one to train with. Now we're going to get to speak to Sir Robard and have another chance to win him over. Although I suspect we're going to have just as much luck as last time. Okay, take it away, Henry. So technically this is Henry's third attempt, but hey, here we go.
Good day to you.
So, we don't mention needing to get to Skalitz at all, okay? We'll ask why... We'll ask what Sigismund wants.
What happened in Kuttenberg?
Gutenberg. Well, I'm just a simple soldier, but the good Lord gave me ears, and I've heard some things from Sir Divish and from those who fled from Sigismund's pillaging.
Were there many?
Indeed, but it was the Kuttenberg mercenaries who came to see me, because I knew them from before.
I see.
Listen, lad, these are all games of the high aristocracy. In Prague, a cabal of nobles rebelled against King Wenceslas, wealthy aristocrats who took against our king for reasons of their own. There's no doubt Sigismund had his fingers in the whole affair. Him and Wenceslas's cousin, Jobst. And that cabal helped him abduct the king.
So then why did Sigismund attack Kuttenberg?
Why do you think?
So one obvious cause for concern about Sir Robard is he does seem to have a slight American accent, which just feels really anachronistic in a medieval European setting. It's weird. But I'm not entirely sure what he does. It also sounds a bit kind of Lloyd Grossman-y. Anyway, I'm going to go for this one because it's the one I took last time.
Because the lords there could have risen against him with their armies and stopped his conquest of the Bohemian territories?
That's part of it. King Charles, may God grant him eternal glory, built Prague into a proper royal city. while King Wenceslas took a liking to Kuttenberg. After Prague, it's the most important city in Bohemia, in the entire Holy Roman Empire. He who commands the Kuttenberg silver is king.
So Kuttenberg sided with Wenceslas because he favoured it?
Now you're starting to understand. When Sigismund imprisoned Wenceslas and took control of Prague, the people of Kuttenberg began to raise an army against him. So with the attack on Kuttenberg, Sigismund killed 2 birds with 1 stone. He defeated Wenceslas's most powerful allies before they could stand against him, and also gained immense wealth.
I do like the way that his armour rustles and jostles as he moves when he speaks, rather than just being completely silent. That's a very nice touch, and also it's not overdone. Now, we'll ask why Sigismund attacked Skalitz in particular.
Why did Sigismund burn down Skalitz and then come here too?
That's war for you, lad. Certain lords have resolved to take things into their own hands and eliminate anyone who doesn't
That
share their
mace is
view.
sticking into his side.
Unfortunately, Sir Radzig is one of those. And what's more, he was sitting on a pile of silver that could help King Wenceslas's allies.
Well, we'll ask about the Cumans, because we don't want to raise his suspicions about our urgent desire to get out of the castle at all cost.
Where did these Cumans come from anyway?
I don't know much about them, only what the Chamberlain said. That they came to Hungary from the east and settled there. They're godless barbarians and merciless fighters. The nobles used to say the Hungarian king shouldn't enlist them, because they dishonor our rules of warfare. But when there's power and money to be had, it seems that honor isn't worth my spit. And believe me, it's always about power and money.
Well, obviously Henry wants to get to Skalitz, and he's not going to miss out on the opportunity. He just wanted to ease into it and not seem too desperate.
So Robard, I need to get to Skalitz.
What would you do there, lad? Sigismund might have left, but the place will be swamped with robber barons, brigands, deserters, and other vermin. And anyway, your lord commanded you to stay here.
Alright, so we have using power of speechcraft, threatening, probably not going to work. He's a sir, so he's a knight. Even though he says he's a soldier, he must be a subordinate knight, or maybe he's like a marshal, or begins. And there's using authority over him. He's a bloody soul. It's like I'm a peasant. He's a trained soldier. He's got higher authority than me. I mean, I've got good authority, and maybe it would be appealing to his sense of authority or his sense of honor. But I think, if you were in my shoes, yes. But he does have a very fancy sword, Henry, that no one has taken away from him. Well, yeah, if he was in my place, he'd do the same, but he's responsible. Which young Henry isn't that responsible yet, is he, to be honest? I mean, that's the straight up honest one. There's no point getting mouthy and aggressive in front of him. I mean, that's just going with the number 4 over the number 3 there. That's not magnificent. And it's not a massive difference, so I'll just go with the honesty and just the heartfelt emotion here.
My parents died there, and I won't leave them to be ravaged by dogs. I have to bury them.
Good God, boy. Do you want to throw your life away for those who can never get theirs back? Do you think that's what they'd want? Forget it.
Well, he's not going to be helpful, unfortunately. Poor old Henry. However, Henry is going to look up... Okay, so not this one. Information on Sir Divish of Talmberg. Divish z Talmbergu, Sir Divish of Talmberg, owned Talmberg Castle in the years 1390 to 1415. In 1391 the castle was conquered and Divish was taken captive and by his neighbour. There's too many ands there. In 1391 the castle was conquered and Divish was taken captive by his neighbour Harvel Medek of Valdek, though we no longer know how the dispute arose between them. Due to the king's inability to settle the matter, Divish was imprisoned in his own castle for 7 long years, while his wife, Stephanie, a remarkably modern-sounding name that I might need to look into the origins of, attempted to raise the ransom to free him. Thanks to the help of friends, including Razik, which becomes Radzig, so Razik Gobila, he was finally liberated, and Medek, that's Havel Medek, of Valdek, was condemned for his actions as a rebel. From 1400 onwards, Divish held the office of Prague Burgrave, and in 1401 moved his seat to Prague. Meanwhile, Talmberg Castle was repaired, and he gave it to his wife, Divish. Divish returned there in 1414, and in 1418 his son Aldrich governed the estate. According to some sources, Divish died in 1415, while others attest that in 1418 Jan Jankovsky sold his Jankov castle, where the Talmberg family lived, until 1702. Divish had 3 sons, Aldrich, Wilhelm, and Mikulas, who governed Jankov from 1433 onwards. So basically, given that we know he's free, he ain't going to be around for much longer. He might be dead within a year, and the events of the game might actually cover that. That's a shame. I liked old Sir Divish. He had a bit of the John Gielgud about him, in terms of appearance, not in terms of sound. Damn, that would have been good if he actually sounded like John Gielgud. That would be amazing. Nothing about Sir Robard here, unfortunately. But that's okay. We can keep dipping in for world information. I was looking to see if there was anything useful I could use. You know what? William of Talberg and Milicin. That sounds a bit like... Oh wow, that's short. In 1297, the head of the provincial court, the direct founder of the Talmberg branch, and a direct bearer of the Hrosnata coat of arms. The Hrosnata family was one of the few that did not directly engage in the war against the king, so did not forfeit property. He founded Talmberg Castle. He had 2 sons, Divish, and Nezamisl. Nezamisl? Bit of a mouthful there. Wow, the grip on that sword does not line. The tang must be really bent inside that hilt. That is dodgy alignment. That is really... I mean, look, it's coming down here, and it goes off to the side. It's like, whoa! Or it comes up here, and it's just bent. Maybe he's just so strong, he's wrenching the sword handle out of shape because he's just so angry. I mean, look at that face. I mean, I'd have a face like that if my sword was all bent off to the side. That'd be most disturbing. And just to be clear, I am still talking about the sword here, not some other thing. Now, it's time for Henry to go talk to some people. And remember that he has a little bit of a way with the ladies.
It's all the same to me who sits on the throne. As long as there's
Unfortunately, this one doesn't seem to want to talk to him, so we go talk to some of these. Hello, my lover. Don't you love my West Country accent? I'm Henry, a villager from Scarlets. Well, that's Sigmund had his army here, eh?
Sigismund's visit this morning was pretty alarming, wasn't it?
And no mistake. That army of his is enormous. It's a good thing Sir Divish is such a fine speaker, or they'd have squashed us like bugs.
Is there someone here who trades in goods?
Try Votovar. He's as thin as a starving hound and about as cheerful, but he can get anything you want. I saw him by the local granary.
Well, what I'm going to do, in that
Since
case...
Sigismund conquered Kuttenberg, you can't even trust common pilgrims anymore. There's that many brigands roaming around. You never know if you'll come home from the fields alive.
Ah yes, this is the magic man with the ability to walk through those 2 people as if they don't exist. Maybe that'll get patched soon. Or perhaps it already has. Votovar, please talk to me. I would like to see how expensive and unaffordable your goods are.
Good health to you.
Could we buy and sell stuff?
Can we trade?
Can we trade?
If you've got the coin.
I have to work on that. I have to go over a less excessive West Country accent. So, let's go over a single lockpick. Oh, would set Henry back a ridiculous amount of money. What does Henry have that he could trade for it? Well, Henry got shot by arrows. 3 arrows. Interesting. Now, how about this warm roast duck? Oh dear God, I'm going to have to sell the saviour schnapps, aren't I? There's no other way. Just one. I'd get some money, and then I could dream of affording this highly expensive treasure map. So hopefully I'll be able to come back here and search it. But it's like, selling saviour schnapps? There's got to be another way. And there isn't, but there's got to be another way. So, what I'm going to do is cancel this. Just go. Now that I've looked and seen that I've got no other choice but to sell saviour schnapps, of which I now have less. I'm not going to talk to the gate guard because I don't want to get him suspicious, even though he has proved in the past to be rather sympathetic. Let's see if we can find Lady Stephanie of the rather modern sounding name. I mean, can't I just like jump off here and get chased down by the guards and have an awesome escape cutscene getting shot full of arrows as a treacherous spy that they don't trust? And look at Henry run. He can't walk. He almost walks. Now in my lost footage, I found his lordship and her lady up in the chapel, praying. And they would not budge, and I would not disturb them in prayer, obviously, because that is an unchristian thing to do, and Henry is a Christian, and he's a conscientious fellow. And I think they might be in here again. Let's hope not. Oh, the door's shut this time, so maybe not. There is no one in here. That is good news. Let's go talk to this guard on the wall here, this archer.
Good day to you.
This I really am intrigued to know about, because I'm highly suspicious that they managed to escape unharmed.
What do you think about the Skalitz folk managing to slip away like that?
I can't imagine how they did it. The more I think about it, they was either blessed, or Sigismund's mercenary army ain't up to much. When you're on campaign, you keep watch no matter how much it's pissing down. If any of us make such a cock-up, Sir Robard would flay the skin off our backs.
You only say that because you never saw them attack.
Aye. Well, it's a shame your folks couldn't be saved.
Is Sir Robard really that tough?
Tough? Aye. But he's fair. He's a veteran of many a campaign, so he knows warcraft.
Oh,
I believe it.
that shoulder plate isn't moving as his arm rotates. That's disturbing. Yeah, so I strongly suspect that Sir Radzig and what's the name, Sigismund's army leader are in collaboration, and that's why he was allowed to let come here for some reason. It's highly suspicious. I'm not going to ask about Trader. Wait. Well, I'll mention Sigismund's army anyway.
Sir Divish certainly put Sigismund in his place.
You're right there. That's Sir Divish for you. May God grant him long life.
I suspect a long life may not be in his future.
Can you tell me where I can buy or sell something?
Go to the cook. She'll say you something to eat.
What if I want something else?
Best ask Votiver, the pond keeper. But I don't know if he made it inside the castle before they closed the gate. Try asking some of the villagers. They should know.
I wonder, as Votiver is a mean, skinny fellow, if I could possibly buy some food from the cook and sell it to him for a profit. I mean, it would be nice, right? You know, it'd be nice. It might, let's close this door. Can't go leaving it open for anyone to go wandering in. Ooh, who's in here today? Oh, you, hello. I can't talk to you. How very Oh, her hair's sticking awkwardly through the back of her headscarf there. Hey, I didn't move! You were the one who walked right into me, madam. Maybe Henry likes women bumping into him and the feel of their curvaceous bodies pressed up against his. And then they go, "Ah!" And he goes, "Oh, sorry, love." And they give him a right good old slap. He's just a young troublemaker, really. Hello, cook. You're not the cook. Alright. Where is she? There we go.
If I needed some food, who should I ask?
Who do you think, young man? Me, of course. And if you want something extra, I could help you out with that too.
Not sure what something extra is, but let's take a look and see. Okay, prices. I don't have anything to compare. Okay, so I'd get more money from Votova than the cook for the roast duck. More money for the saviour schnapps as well, actually, for that matter. It's going to be very disappointing to have to part with them, but there seems to be no alternative. Are these all still like this bread roll? This bread roll here, for me. You serious? Well, okay, you know, this food was left out for Henry last night, and he's not going to squander it now. He's not going to get in any trouble for taking it. She's right there! She's literally right there, okay? She can definitely, peripheral vision, sound. This feels very wrong, and I should not take too much of this. I should not prevail too much upon her kindness, but that blasted lockpick is so prohibitively expensive. Is there like a flask of sack or something here? Oh yeah, I can totally take that as well. Now, Henry's likely to need these at some point in the future, so he doesn't want to part with too much. However, where are Sir Divish and Lady Stephanie of the... Oh, well, there's Sir Divish. Are you coming down? You are. Oh, terribly sorry, Your Honour. She's on her own for once! She's on her own, her husband isn't there! I'm talking right now!
God save. Can I help you with anything?
About Sigismund's army, it gone and buggered off, see? And your husband did a really good job talking to him.
My lady, I hope you weren't unduly distressed by the arrival of Sigismund's army this morning.
Well, it was to be expected. And thanks to God's mercy and my good husband, there was no more bloodshed. But it's something else that distresses me. Maybe my mind deceives me. But I have an evil foreboding.
You, my lady? Surely not. No evil could possibly come to you.
I fear something bigger and worse will come. That Sigismund is only another omen of imminent evil. Of great evil.
Well, given that Henry is apparently psychic and knows the future, and that Sir Divish may very well die within the next year, there's a distinct possibility that something rather bad could happen, and she's picking up on it. But I have to get to Scarlet's, my lady.
I would like to ask your assistance, my lady, if I may be so bold.
What's the matter, lad?
I need to get out of the castle, and your husband is keeping me here by force.
Why, for the love of God, would you want to leave the castle?
Now, Henry knows her well enough.
My parents are lying in the mud of Skalitz at the mercy of dogs and jackdaws. I can't just leave them there.
That's terrible. May the Lord have mercy on their souls. But how can I help you, Henry? I don't want your death on my conscience.
Her husband's
if I
back.
could just get past the guard at the gate somehow.
But you can. If you wear a proper suit of armor, and if he can't see your face, he won't recognize you, and he'll let you go.
Good thinking.
Well, that was an honest misclick, but it worked. I was just going to say, Henry knows her well enough to see her stats, and now her husband's there to listen to her telling him how to rob the place, and it's like, that's out of order, okay? You'd think he'd say, oi, hang on a minute. My wife's telling you how to rob me there. I mean, is this some kind of setup? Do they get off on telling people weird, like, how to burgle them? Right. If I ask for money for a bribe, I could use that to pay Votova. But she's likely to say she doesn't have access to the household funds, and while she controls them, she'll also have to, like, account for money going missing. And then I'd get in trouble for robbing the place. So I'm not going to risk it, okay?
And where can I get the armor?
At the armory?
Where's that?
In the gate tower. But the soldiers sleep in other places around the castle too, and you might find armor nearby.
Fair enough.
Well, they'll certainly ask where I'm going.
You could tell them Sir Robard sent you to Ujitz, to ask the parish priest how the folk there are faring.
That sounds reasonable.
Right, I'm going to say bye for now. I'm not going to risk asking for money, because even if she then doesn't give me any money, she'll know that I wanted it. I mean, she knows that anyway, but, you know, it's arousing suspicion, and that's something to avoid.
Thank you, my lady. I must go now.
God bless.
Where is he? Where is he? Where's her husband? He's not anywhere. Okay, so I'm hoping she'll remain here. I'm also hoping I can now go... Close the door, obviously. Who was walking down these stairs towards me? Just gone into thin air. That's so bizarre. Well, now it's time to go see the trader and maybe sell him some overpriced bread rolls and cold roast duck from the previous evening. Hello, Votova. I need one of your very expensive, ridiculously expensive lockpicks. But no, to be fair, I mean, if you're selling a lockpick, right, you're not going to sell it for a pittance, are you?
Can we trade?
If you've got the coin.
Because any dangerous criminal could just buy one. Now, one lockpick, please. 18! Right. Okay. 3 cheap, cruddy arrows. It's a start, right? It's a start. Some cold roast duck. Oh, see, I need... The wine would get in good. I just can't do it without the saviour schnapps, really, can I? He's not gonna... That's really annoying, because that was like that's a game mechanic item that I shouldn't have to part with, because it's having been given all these other things. Wait a minute. Can anyone tell what's coming? Ow! Wrong. If you want to sneak in somewhere, make sure no one sees or hears you. With your scene or not depends on the light, your posture, see, and your clothing. Whether they hear you depends on the surface you're moving on, your posture, see, and your attire, especially footwear. That's okay. I was trying to get to the character sheet. So, the main level is increased. Because there might be... You know, I might have just been lucky enough to get a perk involved with trading available that I could then spend to, you know. But I see no perks here available, unfortunately. Energy, so you may need to rest. Nourishment. Okay, we'll bear that in mind. So yeah, we don't want to sell all the food. Damn it. I mean, the game is... It feels like the game explicitly gave me the saviour schnapps so I could save, and I shouldn't then be forced to save them to get at other stuff. to sell them, you know. Because that means someone else becomes a time
Can we
traveller.
trade?
If you've got the coin.
And they could buy my saviour schnapps and go back in time and stop me from ever getting saviour schnapps. But there we go, there's an ridiculously prohibitive amount of money. It would mean I wouldn't need to sell any of the food, though. How much would 2 lockpicks cost? More than I can probably afford. Let's see. Let's go all out here, okay? Oh man, that's a lot of cheese. And the cold roast duck. Have a second lockpick, please. And then give him the wine. Oh, and the 3 arrows that I was shot with. Hey, Henry's getting money. I think it's worth trying to haggle. A tiny little bit.
Something about the price.
Aye.
Right. We want to go... just that, okay?
Aye. That would do it.
Why is this a different sword hilt? And you know what?
Can we trade?
If you've got the coin.
Because I do have a little coin, does he have anything I could repair badly damaged garments with? Also, Henry's going to be hungry and thirsty soon. Shouldn't have sold all that food, but the second lockpick was hopefully worth it. Okay, nothing good for repairs. But now, we have lockpicks to break, failing to learn how to pick locks. And it might be worth waiting till it's dark, because the guards are certainly going to see me. And they're not entirely stupid. Let me put it this way. I'll head up these steps here. Easy, sir.
Hey! Watch it!
I didn't move. I moved over to the side and... oh, for goodness
Jesus.
sake. What? Okay, that is just magic. There is no sane mind that can comprehend the sorcery that is occurring in this castle. Henry's got to get out of here before it gets much worse. Now, excuse me, mister, could you just, like, let me pass, please? You know, like this.
What the hell?
Well, if you wouldn't stand in the
Hey, watch
middle
it.
of the walkway,
I'll
mate.
remember you.
I need to get past. Yeah, so again, completely not subtle. I mean, he's going to remember me when I come back. Even if I imagine it's a changing of a guard and a different guard, it's blatantly the same guard. This is not good. So, there are people down there. Well, mainly horses. I don't see them at the moment. It's time to fail to learn how to pick locks, and I am actually going to save the game here. Because I hear the lock picking is really difficult. And that will actually have used our last saviour schnapps. Oh yeah, it's gone. Keep pressing tab to close things. Right. That door was supposed to be locked. Well, I'm going to bloody well close it. Is this not the armory? I could have sworn this was the armory. This is a very long ladder. Not a lot of stairs in here. And the thing is, the wood of the ladders is, it's expensive to... If it's poles and tree trunks and stuff, it's expensive. If it's wait, is it literally nothing down here? When I'm gonna have to go back and find out where the armory is again, am I? Because I could have sworn she said it was along this tower. Although for the armory to be in a tower itself seems a little odd. Wow, that was interesting. The ladder became momentarily invisible because Henry was on the wrong side of it. Now, I'm gonna... Wait, that's not even locked? Oh, wow. Well, I'm gonna hold off on this, right? Wait and see what else I can find. Okay, there's no guards up here. Okay, easy lockpick. Okay. Let's be risky. Right, we learned locks. I have no... Wait, it's gone golden. In order to pick locks, you must have at least one lockpick in your inventory, although it's better to have one or two spares since they get worn with use and, in the worst case, can break. You start the actual lockpicking process by holding E on the lock. You will then see a diagram of the lock mechanism in which you have to find the right spot to insert the lockpick. How close you are to the sweet spot is indicated by the size of the cursor, and it turns gold when you find it. Then you have to use the lockpick to turn the whole lock mechanism. At the same time, you have to coordinate the movement of the lockpick with the rotation of the mechanism, because the rotation shifts the position of the sweet spot. If you try to turn the mechanism without having the lockpick in the correct position, the mechanism will stick, which will damage the lockpick or even break it. Any damage to the lockpick will produce a noise which can draw unwanted attention, and breaking it will cause an even louder snap. Do I want to open this one? Okay, I'll try again. I swear, if that's both lockpicks gone, I would not be surprised at all if it was. Yeah, see, that's why I saved the game. Okay. Okay. Wow, that is hard. And I did say I was saving, so yeah. Because that wasn't a full-face helm, that was a bassinet. So if this is not the armory, where is... You're going to give me grief again, aren't you?
Hey, watch it!
Alright, fine. Fine, I'll go back here then. Right. Now, let us ascend this ladder and go back to that unlocked chest and pillage it for all it's worth, because it is mercifully not locked. Right, so common bassinet, red waffen rock, hunter's gloves, light padded armor. Okay, okay. If you steal, make sure no one sees you, but even selling the loot isn't easy. You might get away with selling a stolen apple, but word will get around if you steal something valuable and traders will recognize it. Try going to a trader as far away as possible from the scene of the theft, or find someone who deals in "it disappeared too quickly to read it. I wish they wouldn't do this." It's like the people who put subtitles on the beginning of films too fast for anyone to read. Now let's head up here and see if we can find anything else unlocked. Oh, off the top of a ladder. Hooray! Oh, do we dare? Okay. Because Henry doesn't want to get caught here. I mean, I'm not even... Okay, that's locked. Yeah. Down the ladder. And let's get out of this tower before any trouble happens. So far, so kind of good. That I've emptied out. Let's get down this ladder before anyone sees us. Now, as for going into this tower as Henry, getting dressed up as a guard and coming out, that would be foolish, because someone saw me going in. So I'm going to open the door and go out as Henry, with this massive bundle of stuff under his arm. Oh, bloomin' hell. Bloomin' heck. Sir Divish is down there in the courtyard. Hello, Sir Divish, don't mind me, I'm just robbing your thing that's supposed to be an armory, but isn't. Now, if I can just get... I don't know where the archer's gone, but he's gone. Not gonna complain. This is the chapel. It's very nice. That's locked. I'm not even going to look at this. This is beautiful. I mean, these murals, very nicely painted. These are more appropriate to period style. That face, I'm not quite sure. That's a more modern perspective, more of a Renaissance look. Yeah, the angle and tilt of the head. Whereas the medieval artists had this habit of putting the face all on the front there like that. Or this. Now this is really nice. That's not a triptych, is it? Because there's not 3 of them. What do you call it when there's only 2? It is beautiful though. I must say, it would be a shame if anything nasty happened in here. So we are not going to let anything nasty happen while we're in here. Wait, can Henry wash his hands in this? There was a... Or was it just to close the door? We'll close the door. We'll close the door. Look at the light reflecting on that ironwork. Straight from the forge. Yeah, I like that. It might be reflecting a little bit too much. If I open this door, there may be someone in there. This door is already open. There is no one in here. Very hard. Easy. Is there any very easy locks? I mean, because Henry's not going to learn to pick locks better unless he finds lots and lots of lockpicks to practice with, because it's not... Alright, guard's coming, I'll just get out of the way.
Hey, watch it. I'll remember you.
Oi, I wasn't... I mean, yeah, this young lad, he's definitely hanging around here and up to no good, you know. Okay. Oh, I'm going to have to be really careful coming down that ladder because people might see me get off the bottom of it. Okay, that's hard. Going straight back down. And I remember that if I go down the other ladder in this chamber, there was some pathfinding issues, so I'm just going to get out of that tower. Jog all the way back here at hyperspeed because Henry is unbelievably full of beans. There's Lady Stephanie, hard at work, admiring the table there. At least the fire is warming up the room, but the door's wide open, letting all that fire warmth right out. So what we're going to do is head back into the guest rooms, then come out of there as a guard, because that'll be less suspicious than doing so. And this is going to look like a right disaster. I closed this door behind me. Someone's been in here, and they're up to no good. Someone's been in my guest room. I do not like this. Alright, Henry. It's time for one of the most rubbish disguise attempts ever. Not only that, but you're going to be walking around with stolen goods. Hey, how come... Okay. Okay. Oh, that's... Of course, yeah, because that's more of a tabard. Right. Here we go. That obviously goes under the bassinet, you see. And then... Is there anything else? Well, it's not the best disguise because we can blatantly still see Henry's face. But let's go and ask Lady Stephanie what she thinks, because she's probably... Oh dear! Terrible, terrible. Right. Hello. Who are you? You're the person who might have blundered into my bedroom. Oh my god! Don't mind me, just going on patrol, walking right behind you, all suspicious like. I seen you walking into some bedroom, having a look round like you own the place, like you was invited to stay there. I talk like a right peasant. I'm not a posh guard at all. Hello, Lady Stephanie. Do I sound like a posh prince to you, my love?
My lady.
God be with you. I'm sorry. Do I know you?
Oh god, that's terrible.
It's me, my lady. Henry.
I didn't recognize you at all.
Yeah,
I
right.
still think you should stay here in the safety of the castle, Henry. But I see your heart is drawing you away from here. God go with you.
My lady, you mock me. But I'll take it deadly seriously and be Mr. Rock-hard, super-hard bastard and get out of here and rescue my parents, except I'm not a bastard because my mummy and daddy were married, and I'm going to put them in the ground proper and give them a nice decent burial, and I don't even have a spade, but I'm Henry. I'll think of a way, somehow, and get shot in the leg again or something. She blatantly knew who he was. It's almost like they're playing along... Oh, for goodness sake, soldiers. Yeah, that's right. Look, I do like the fact it's not one of those computer games where everyone gets out of your way. And now it's pissing down. I mean, that was just no thunderclap or anything. Henry's got a horse here somewhere. Henry has got a horse. I know Henry's got a horse, he rode in on it. Oi, horsey. Why can't I... There we go. Mountain steel. Where's Elena? Where's There we go. Henry's stupid horse. Right, horse. I need you to walk backwards now. Out of this stall. What is this bloody horse doing? Right. Now, what is it again? It's is it that? This, ladies and gentlemen, is where I completely forget the horse riding controls. Steady on, horsey. You almost crashed into the wall there. This is Henry, riding for freedom. And, like, calling a guard, somehow. Hello, you. I'm on a horse. Get out of my way. Open the gate, mister. Hello, you. Okay, so the quest objective was... optional, get a horse. I should take my horse. Scout's a long way from here. Yes, except the horse riding controls are really, really, really horrible. Do I have to get off the horse to talk to the guard? Perhaps I do. Oi, you. Yeah, that's you. Rad him.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I need to get out of here.
Says who? I've never seen you before in my life. And that's odd, seeing as how you're wearing our colors.
I'm Sir Robar's messenger. He's sending me to Ujits to find out if Sigismund's army has been giving them trouble.
I might believe you if I knew who you were. Who the hell are you?
Janek of Malish.
I'm Yannick of Malashov. I haven't been here long, but if you had your eyes open, you would have noticed.
Oh.
Now open the fucking gate, or I'll have to go and get Sir Robard, and you wouldn't want that, would you?
Oh, alright, alright.
I should have used authority. I'm dressed up fancy.
Open the gate!
Now get on this fucking horse. I am not going to gallop. I'm going to line up with the bloody gate first. And hope there's no Q-mans outside. Objective completed, get a horse. It's the same fucking horse as last time. Okay. Flee the castle and get to Scarlet's. Well, Scarlet's is kind of a long way. Is it shift to make him follow it? Oi, I'm talking to you, horse. Wait. Okay, so shift kind of just lines him up there. Just straightens him up with the path. I believe I'm needing to take a right here. It's a nice shrine. Good to see there's good devout people. I'm going to ride slowly and painfully along here. Because Henry's a complete... Well, Henry knows his way around. I'm not so sure. I'm going to check my map. Good grief. Unexplored place and activity giver. And another unexplored place. Looks like there's some kind of... he's got a stick. As if he's going to beat something. And a load of hounds. Oh, right. He's a beater. He's there to scare the partridges and pheasants and stuff out of the trees so the huntsman can get them. Got it. And there's rabbits here, and a rabbit sticking his head out a hole very nicely. I do love this art style. There's a quarry up here. This is great. And then I'm going to have to go... That's not Skalitz. That's Skalitz. So, Rovna. Okay. Well... Henry. It's time to become a fucking legend. Just ride the horse nice and slow. Look, you're a messenger, you don't want to tire the horse. And also, you know, horses don't like Henry. We have proved this on multiple occasions, and we seem to be taking a wrong turn. Not entirely wrong. Okay. Yeah, this should kind of work. Right. Whoa, horsey. Easy. Easy now. I think we're taking a left here. Or... No. No, we're not. Okay. Because I didn't remember that bridge on the way in. Oh, press and hold shift to stay on the path. Okay, yeah, that works. There's no rush. We don't want to get killed. But there's that thunder and lightning that should have accompanied this rain. Okay, so we're heading towards the storm. and Skalitz. And Henry's parents, it's going to be so muddy. Now, I did see a perk to do with being able to carry bodies quicker or something, so that'll be interesting as well. But for now, I think it may be time to save and end the episode. And be glad that finally, after all this time, we're free! We've escaped! Okay, something about a camp. Ain't that great? Was that a tutorial? No! A location? It wasn't camping, was it? It was camp. In the Middle Ages, countries were constantly being crossed by marauding bands of groups of soldiers, brigands, and guardsmen in groups of various sizes or lone combatants who often changed their place of abode. They lived in makeshift huts, shelters, or tents around a central fire. Some stayed at one camp for several days, others set up camp only for one night and moved on again the next day. One important factor in their choice of campsite was the ready availability of water, food, animal fodder, and firewood. Very rarely they camped in villages or by a castle or in its vicinity. This was reserved for overnighting by the nobility and their entourage. During wartime or while on the run, they would sleep in the open since there was no time to raise or break down tents. The noblemen's armies also camped at sites where provincial militias were gradually gathering, or while awaiting the arrival of reinforcements or allies. The longest lasting, sometimes up to several months, were encampments for laying siege to strongholds, or those on riverbanks waiting to engage with enemy forces on the other side. Tents were intentionally erected close together for security, mimicking battlements. The largest tent in the centre of the camp belonging to the commander, nearby tents housed nobles and high-ranking soldiers surrounded by simple shelters and huts for the ordinary soldiers and their horses. There was no need to camp together in one place, and an army would make camp across several locations. In the larger camps there would be a field chapel, an infirmary to care for the wounded, and sometimes even a makeshift brothel. Simple tents in the early Middle Ages took the shape of a capital A, with a square base and a distinctive central pole mounted with two upright stands. So basically ridge tents. The tent canvas was most often made from flax or hemp, undyed for ordinary soldiers, but variously coloured and decorated for the commanders. The men slept on the ground, on mats, skins, pelts, but the nobility and churchmen would have travel beds. Oh, the luxury. Long-term camping was challenging logistically, supplies always being the responsibility of the administrator of the nearest affiliated township. If the army was on hostile territory, it would send out provisioning detachments to procure food and fuel, and now Henry is particularly short on food and fuel, and he's going on a long madcap journey to, this is going to be fun. When supplies ran short, it was time to move on to another location or give up the campaign. The worst occurrence was an outbreak of an epidemic in the camp, since hygiene was difficult to maintain. While waiting for developments, there would also be quarrels, duels, fights which would escalate into a larger conflict and significantly compromise the army. Disputes therefore had to be judged and, if necessary, severe punishments meted out. I know that was said bigger, but I preferred larger. Now, let's see what we can find about... We got Gutenberg up. So, Gutenberg, nowadays Gutenberg, I believe, with a G. Interesting translation. Gutenberg is today the district town of the central Bohemian region, 70 kilometers in a time when kilometers had never been invented. You really shouldn't do that, developers. I know it may be easier for you to relate to, but kilometers were invented by the French after the French Revolution, significantly later than the 1300s and 1400s. The founding of Gutenberg, the official name of the city in the Middle Ages, came about thanks to the discovery of silver ore deposits in the vicinity and its location next to Sedlet's monastery, the commercial and economic centre of the region. This is actually interesting information about Gutenberg, by the way. City rights were acquired by Talmberg in 1318, after which time the economic activity of the city was taken care of by the so-called Erbera, or royal clerk. To keep the operation of the mint and the mines to a high standard and safe, a list of legal edicts was issued, ius regale montanorum, the mining regulative. Oh dear. Oh well, maybe it helped. The city soon became rich and had the same powers as the old town of Prague. The wealthiest inhabitants of Talmberg were the German population, while the lower class consisted of mine workers, smelters, mint workers, artisans, and servants. Almost every city dweller had some connection to silver mining, minting, coinage, or trading. The treasures of found and mined silver supported the treasures of found and mined silver supported the development of other Czech cities, including the construction of new buildings in Prague. The architecture of Talmberg was due to Wenceslas IV. During his reign, the former timber houses were rebuilt in brick or as half-timbered. There were also churches, the Stirling Court, and other public works built at that time. Talmberg retains its Gothic genius loci to this day. I want to read up on Talmberg as I'm escaping. This castle was built on a rocky promontory at the beginning of the 14th century, either by Ernst Arnost of Kornitz or Hrosnata of Uschitz. For more than 200 years, the castle was seat of the lords of Uschitz, who were later renamed after their residence, the Lords of Talmberg. In 1390, the castle came into the possession of Divish of Talmberg. The same year, it was seized by Havel Medek of Waldeck, who took Divish prisoner. Medek did not release Divish until 1397, when he was forced to do so by a decision of the provincial court. Only a ruin now remains of the castle in the midst of residential development. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave, and then I'll fire it up just to check the save worked, because it would be a pain to go through all this again. Alright, well, thanks everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheerio.